everybody. Welcome to the Friday night version of The Lounge. And we have our little royalty-free music intro right here. And the name of this song is called Comically Bizarre by Laurent Dennis Boulanger. Yes. And the reason I played the song Comically Bizarre is because this show tonight is going to be comically bizarre. Because it's not anything like it seems. It's not anything we've promoted. It's not anything that you've seen on Facebook. The guests have changed. Everything has changed. But, you know, with 5 planets in retrograde and our solar eclipse and our full moon, tonight's show is all about retrograde magic. Before this, we were having a psychic medium coming on. We have music. We still have music, but we have had a lot of changes in events. And up to the last minute, we had no idea what was happening in the lounge. But as I've always told you, the lounge is the show that books itself. And there are higher forces at work in the lounge. And we know that the lounge selects our guests every week, even though I tried to plan it. We were scurrying around till about 9:01. And everything has fallen into place. And I am sure the people that watch this show regularly, the show must go on. We cannot say, hey, we're not having a show. We are going to let the universe decide. So we were going to have another medium on tonight and some music. But we have one medium on tonight, and that's me, which you guys see every week. And we don't even know what we're talking about tonight. But you know what? It's going to be mediumship and channeling intensive, because we are just going to channel the topic. We're going to channel the information. And you know what? I think it's all going to work out. I mean, Maria Calvert says, the lounge doesn't disappoint. It really doesn't. We were having a blast before we came on tonight. I mean, you guys saw the show 2 weeks ago. Retrograde. We have to realize that the Mercury retrograde is going to present some challenges. And we just got to go with the flow. If I got all like upset and angry and so, I got to cancel the show and all, no, just remain calm. Let the universe do its work. That is the overarching feeling. So if you guys are having frustrations, plans are being canceled, stuff's happening, just say, you know what? I'm going to go with the flow. And that way you're not upset and everything worked out just as it should. And in fact, it is a retrograde magic show, which means that all the guests tonight are guests that have been lounge favorites before, and they're coming back on. So I just like to say hello to everybody that I'm seeing currently in the chat. Hi, Carol. Hi, Prabhas. Nice to see you. Yes, it has a little jazz to it. Comically bizarre. That's where we're at today. Good to see you. Hi, Regina. I'm sure you're still in Scranton. Maybe not. Don, oh my goodness, it's been so long since I've seen you. How are you? Great to see you tonight. Yes, Mary, you know, it's always interesting here. Hi, Jamie in Florida. Good to see you, girlfriend. Lisa, good to see you. I've already said hi to Maria. Christine, it's always fun ride, honey. You know, Roseanne knows that I take it to the limit, and I take it to the limit one more time, and that's what we're doing. Hi, Ellen, good to see you. Hi, Paula, Michelle. Yep, go with the flow. That's the name of the game. Now, before we actually bring on our mystery guest, well, it's not a mystery if you actually saw the intro, but he was going to be a mystery. I'm just going to let him let's just say he's a Scorpio. Let's just say that. Let's just say he's either on the lounge or he's in the chat. One or the other, you know, our Scorpio's watching. You know he's involved. Okay, so he's either in the interior plan or he's involved in the lounge. You just don't know where he is or where he's at, but we know he's around. So I'm just going to let him get in the mood and sit back and think about some things that are going on here. But before, and I know we're going to go with what we had planned originally. And I'd love to introduce you to one of our returning guests. And I'd like to say we have some interesting things that are happening with this guest tonight. Here we go. None other than Julian Hartwell. Welcome. How are you, my friend?
What's up? I'm good. It's good to be back.
It's good to be back. You actually helped us last minute when we had the issue with our other guest canceling, and you actually swept right in and you said, hey, I know what to do. Let's see if this works. And lo and behold, this guest actually brought you on the show. So 360, it's coming back around. And Scorpios love that. It's a karmic thing, right? The Scorpios love it. It's come back around. The gift has been given, and now it's given back. So you saved the day. So Julian, you are a returning guest on our show. You're one of our musicians. Tell us about your music a little bit and what you do.
Yeah, sure. It's good to be back on here. Well, I do many things with music. Music is my life. I mostly play the piano, which I'll be playing tonight. A little solo performance from my studio here. But I used to run a band. I haven't actually played with my band in like over a year now, so I don't even feel right telling people I'm a band leader at the moment. But I had a band in Philly for like 6-7 years, my own jazz project, and actually put out a second album this year.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So actually, the night
we had the release party. We were the release party.
Basically, the release party. That I didn't even plan that. It was really funny how that all came to be, and that's how we first connected. So yeah, I have a new album out, but I'm also getting back into my solo piano repertoire. So the album and the band was more jazz, funk stuff you would want to hear live with people dancing and hanging out stuff. The solo is a little, it definitely has the jazz influence, but sometimes it's more like my neoclassical, avant-garde leaning film score type music stuff. To put it in a nutshell, that's what I go for sometimes.
Well, let me tell you what we're going to go for tonight. I appreciate you coming on. I've noticed that you resembled a very famous musician that's out there. That some people like, and people who are in, the late 30s, mid 40s out there in the chat, you're going to love this. I wish I could do a side by side, but I'm going to bring up this picture because Julian, I said, he reminds me of somebody. Who would it be? Let me just put this out there and see what you guys have to say in the chat. Now, Julian, just give us a straight on look. I'm just going to bring you up here. Yep, here we go. There's Julian, right? Check this out. Yeah. You know who this is. Julian.
Need my
Rob
chain.
Thomas. Julian. Rob Thomas. Julian. Matchbox 20. Rob Thomas in his early years, in his early 20s, is you. And you didn't even know it.
I never knew that I was actually meant to have Matchbox 20 in another dimension. That's what I actually do. Lisa says, "Wow."
Yeah. You could be like a if he did a story about his life, you could play his younger self.
There you go. I should hit him up about that. Be like, hey, listen, when you do your biopic, you know who to call. That's
right. So, look, that's him. Look, exactly. Marianne sees it.
Confirmation.
Marianne's confirmation. So the last time you were on, before we get into your music, the last time we were on, you were giving us tips on love and romance and what to do on first dates. Remember, we were going into this.
I guess.
And you said you were going to take a lady on a first date into the Pine Barrens. Do you remember?
Wow.
You said you would take her into the woods, into the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, and that would be your perfect date.
Not at all. I think you got it a little mixed up because you were going Jersey. I said I would go for a walk in the woods, people. Okay. Can I correct my record?
Look, Christy Lois said yes, he did. She remembers. Oh yeah. No, she remembers the Wissahickon Park.
Wow, she nailed it.
See, she's on it. People remember you. The best dates. Wow. In the Pine Barrens.
No. Yeah, so you made it like it sounded like I wanted to kidnap them and like just take them to the Pine Barrens, spend the night, get the tent, I do love the Pine Barrens, but I feel like that's at least like a week.
That's a little much.
Once I know the date a little better, maybe we'll go on a camping trip. That's a whole nother thing. All right, people.
But they might kidnap you because you look like Rob Thomas.
Well, that is a possibility. I have to stay open,
Yeah.
to that.
I think that, you know how people like walk dog, like guys have dogs, like little dogs, and they're like chick magnet dogs.
Mm-hmm.
You could say, you're like, hey, I'm in a band. I represent the young Rob Thomas in films, and it would be like it totally would work. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I should really try that. It's my next pickup line, I think.
So are you still single?
I am.
You are looking at date. And so, what have you had any dates since you were on the lounge the last time?
Maybe one or two. I don't know. It's been pretty uneventful.
Name your dog Matchbox.
Wow. Well, I got to get a dog first, so I got to work on that part. But I got to get a date and a dog, I guess.
So okay, well that's
I'll name a Matchbox.
And how did your album release go? I mean, did you do well? Have people been loving the new stuff?
It's been cool. Yeah, I've been getting some nice feedback. It got picked up on a few playlists on Spotify, which is a big help.
Nice.
Like some big one called Butter. It's like soul, kind of R&B stuff, and I got listeners from all over the world, more with this release than my first album, which is really cool to see. So
awesome.
Yeah, little momentum. I mean, obviously no touring or anything, but fans seem to dig it, and it's been a good reception. So
awesome. Well, people are really going crazy in the chat about you here. I have to show you. 5 willing to share. Make it a golden doodle dog. Great Pyrenees mountain dog. Oh my God, Christine. Since I was a little kid, there used to be this cartoon, Belle and Sebastian, with the Great Pyrenees mountain dog. I always wanted a Great Pyrenees dog, but they're like huge, and I don't think you can like have them around here. But thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, if you had a Great Pyrenees, Julian, that would be amazing.
I'd have to let him run the woods with me. I would just take it. In the Pine Barrens. The Pines.
Yeah. All right. So great. So now that we've established that, we'll just look at it one more time.
Oh, just
here you
one
are.
More.
There you are. Stay in the frame.
There you go. Joke.
Yeah. Hi, Rob.
Like looking at him, he's kind of.
Yeah.
It's kind of like.
Yeah, look at it. It's like the stare, the glare. It's like I can't even. Here, come into the frame. I mean, it's really bizarre. Look at the nose. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Goodness gracious. Wow. I never knew me and Rob were distant cousins until now.
Yeah. So before we actually get into you sharing a little bit of your amazing music, I just want to bring on our mystery guest who very, very well. And we're going to decide what we're going to do tonight. We have no idea because nothing is as it's planned. So we're going to have a little magic happen in the lounge tonight.
Yeah.
We'll see. Coach JXP!
Yeah.
How are you?
Hello to everyone.
Oh wow! Look, Christine.
Everyone, yes, this is Coach JXP. I'm the coach who helps you make that sweet spot between joy and passion, where a lot of love, a lot of meaning, a lot of magic, and a lot of life mastery happens. Yeah.
Oh my God. I can actually feel the energy coming. This is
because you pressured. You're trying to let the Scorpio come out tonight. I've been repressing the Scorpio in me, but then Marisa is like the wizard who can reactivate that. The
there it is.
in me. Yeah,
I'm standing above you, like being like, let's stir the JXP pot here. And I'll tell you what JXP did that I'm very appreciative of in one of the last shows, because you were on twice, right? Before you came on twice, right, Coach?
What? I'm sorry. I didn't hear your question.
That's okay. You came on twice, not just once. You kind of guest appeared another time after your first appearance.
Yeah. I think when Elise was out.
Yes, you came on then too.
Yeah, that was
and
fun.
I have to tell you, Coach JXP, I love your style because we're not going to name names, and this wasn't any of my returning guests or my host or my co-host, but there was somebody on the show who was a little, I didn't like what they were saying, like I didn't like the attitude, what was going on. We have very, very specific styles here in the lounge, very specific vibe. And I remember I'm going on with the interview and Coach comes in, slides in his Scorpio way. And he kind of like was protecting the energy and like went on, gave a question to that guest, which kind of like, he changed the dynamic without them even knowing he was doing it. And he kind of challenged them without them knowing he was challenging them. And because he knew what they were doing, and he came in and he swiped. And nobody, and I knew it. I knew what he was doing. And I'm like, yeah, Coach. Thanks, Coach. Go at it. I felt like Coach came in the ring and gave him a good old 1-2, and they didn't even know they got it. That was the best part. They didn't even know they got it. Coach is like, Marisa, you're hallucinating. I don't even know what you're talking about, but
I trust you.
I know what happened. So, Coach, I want to ask you. You had a live reading on the lounge. You had a live mediumship reading.
Yes,
whatever like became of that? Whatever happened? Did you ever bring any of that information back to your family? Did you feel better after the reading? Did you feel like you had some healing? Did you feel like you had some connection?
You know what? I think that the most significant thing that I got out of that reading is that I felt reconnected with my roots. I felt reconnected with my grandmother. Whoever it is who's here, who's trying to reconnect with me, it kind of, your reading kind of strengthens that bond again. And I believe that at that time, that is what I wanted and what I needed in my life, because, I'm kind of traversing in this new path. And by you telling me those things that are relevant and that are accurate, it helped me. It helped me like kind of clarify, and it reminded me of my purpose. It reminded me that, hey, just chill out. You are on the right track. You are on the right path, and things aren't random. This happened for a reason. And yeah, I got a lot from it. My family in the Philippines, they're kind of Catholic, they're kind of Catholic. So there's that kind of vibe going on. So they're not really that engaged with, the mediumship experience. But I did feel it. And you mentioned a hot air balloon, and I saw it. I saw the hot air balloon in Philadelphia. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's kind of like not like an everyday occurrence to just see it in like Philly.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? That's
right.
not like
hot air balloon. I didn't even recognize it, but it's just I wish I could describe in vivid detail on how that moment came about. But it felt delightful. Just to have that kind of experience. It feels like you've blessed me with something that can never be taken away from me. And that's a lovely experience.
That's so awesome. Yeah. And just for the people out in the chat that don't really need a little more clarification, I usually don't do live readings of guests on the show. And for some reason, the Coach was on the first time. His grandmother came through. And one of the messages she had mentioned was he was going to see a hot air balloon in the city, like in Philly. And like all of a sudden we're like, that can't happen. And I didn't know until just this moment that he actually had that happen. And those validations for me are like, wow, that's a moment. That's a moment from the other side. And it's just like magic. It's a magical moment, I think that's amazing. And
precious.
I guess
precious moment.
Yeah. And I guess my question to you is, has your intuition, since you came on, sometimes people come on the lounge and then their intuition kind of opens. I activate them somehow. It's like activating. Have you found that your intuition has become even stronger since you've kind of been tuned in with the community and had a session, and you've kind of been moving along your new pathway and your new career as a transformational coach?
Yeah, definitely. This year, the first few months of the year were kind of my intuition was working overtime for the first 3 months of this year, because but I think that it's it's an amazing way to feel validated, to know that there are people who think and feel and act and behave like myself, and I've seen you work, and I've seen you kind of utilize your intuitive skills on the spot. And I admire that. And I think that kind of has a ripple effect on the way I do my coaching, on the way I interact with people. So yes, to answer your question, my experience here, like, it strengthened my intuition a little bit more. And I think that I'm more tuned in to the other side more and more, because not just because of my previous guest experience, but because of the lounge, the people here, the people that you bring to the lounge. Yeah. And it's kind of, we're like vibrating on the same frequency, it's just that we have these different paths that we are on, but essentially we're kind of like, we are the warriors now on bringing this new earth come to life, right? Right, Jules?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Yes. Definitely.
Marisa, are you gonna ask Jules? Julian, what's that white thing behind him?
I didn't. You know what? I didn't notice it until you mentioned it. So, Julian, what is that white thing behind you?
What is that white thing behind me? Well, folks, let us.
I love the rollback there.
Take a gander here.
God. Oh my God.
Halloween only comes around once a year, but when it does.
Wow.
I think I even have a ponytail. I think I even have a little. It's my inner genius. Sometimes I let my inner Einstein just come out and play.
That is what he wears when he takes his girls into the woods.
That looks like a Great Pyrenees dog. That looks like what a Great Pyrenees
dog. There you
go.
Yeah. Literally, actually, I do now.
Yeah, and with the man bun on top.
With the man bun. I know. I forgot about the man bun.
Yeah, on top.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. How'd I look, folks? Well, this is my disguise. This is my Rob Thomas, my early Rob Thomas.
Yeah.
So I don't get called out on the street, because usually that happens. I'll go into Starbucks and they'll be like, "Hey, did you play Rob Thomas early, a young Rob Thomas?" So I just go in like this. I get my well, these are not my professor glasses, but they're my blue light blockers. So now I look even crazier.
Oh yes.
And now I don't even look like Rob Thomas at all.
No, you don't. And you know what? You probably would not get the same date that you would when you look like Rob Thomas. You're a cross of Rob Thomas and the Pyrenees dog. I mean, so you can attract whatever you. But thank you, Coach, for your observation. And I loved the rollback of the chair. That was just as good for me as the wig.
Dramatic, right?
So you know what?
Julian
Let's
has
just
amazing voice too, like Rob Thomas. Like they got that deep voice.
Yeah.
Julian and Rob Thomas share that thing. Yeah.
Maybe I should just start a Matchbox 20 cover band, and I'll be set.
You could. I mean, Rob Thomas is pretty like a chill guy. I think you should just let him know that you could double if you need it, if he needs it.
Yeah. All right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But let's transition into your music, and we're gonna play a couple songs. So, what's your first? Let's do a song. Jamie is in the chat here. She's saying, "Weird, but is anyone feeling a physical vibration while watching?" Honey, I'm always feeling the physical vibrations of Coach JXP when he's on, and there's a cheer that goes along with it. It's Coach JXP, Coach JXP, JXP. That's what it is. All right, now that we've done that, and yes, I was a cheerleader back in the day. And by the way, Coach JXP, I am also very Catholic, so it's kind of strange, but yes, also very Catholic. And believe it or not, 90% of my clients are Catholic. It's like Roman Catholic, and a lot of priests that I talk to believe it's all there at the Vatican. It's all they just don't want to bring it out into the public. It's all there that this stuff exists. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just don't want. They know that there's negative when they know about the negative for sure, because they do all that stuff, to help people get rid of that. So there's got to be dark and there's got to be light. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But can you imagine though? Can you imagine being able to blend in the Christ consciousness with this, right? It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be
exactly.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who are mediums that are spiritualists, and I'm not. I actually am very Catholic and religious, and my spiritual experiences happened when I was 14, and they happened directly as a result of religious experiences that I've had and visions. So it runs in my family, and so I am on the more, believe it or not as much of the spiritualist side, but I'm on more of the religious side. So I just thought you'd find that interesting. So I have to say Fenny here. Fenny is our lounge guest coordinator and one of my VAs, and she is the one who kind of saved the day with the poster tonight and put you guys and changed the whole poster last minute. She's like, "What are we gonna do?" I'm like, "Don't worry."
How did you get that picture of me?
I was like, we got to put him on the poster, and I'm like, I don't have a picture of him from the last show, and she just like, I don't know, she's like a quickly Google. I don't know how she finds people, but she found you. And she's like, "Is this him?" And I was like, "How did you find that?" And then I'm like, I think so. So I'm like, it's better to have him on the poster than not. So we just threw that up there. I hope you don't mind that. Oh, look, she felt like a stalker. You did good stalking ability, Fenny. I appreciate that last minute. So she was the one that helped us stalk you and find a picture of you. So we have to give a shout out to Fenny.
Thank you, Fenny.
Christine says a priest spoke and did a reading for food. Yeah, they're in the Catholic Church. What I found, and from the priests that I talked to in the hierarchy, they said that certain orders are more open. There's more liberal priests. There's more conservative priests. So you're not ever going to find every priest is not going to always believe the same. Like you have ones that interpret doctrine completely different. So. You talk to 10 priests, you're going to find 10 different opinions on this stuff. And some people just don't like to talk about it, that it's there. You know what I'm saying? But,
yeah,
it's a dangerous job. It's not something you want to just jump into. You know what I mean? You have to know, you have to be on a higher frequency yourself, always doing self-improvement, always moving toward higher energy, because there's a lot of mediums that do this that are on a lower frequency. And if you're combining a lot of different things with this, then you're dealing with lower energy. I mean, any energies could come in, but you have to really take responsibility for your personal growth to stay on that higher vibration so that you're in a good place.
Interesting.
Now that we've got a little theory behind it here.
Yeah.
But back to Rob Thomas.
Yeah, back to Rob Thomas.
Back to Rob Thomas.
Back to Rob Thomas.
Higher frequency, Jules.
There he is.
He is my higher self. Rob Thomas is actually my higher self. Apparently.
So
you don't want to say that.
No, you don't want to say that. So I am going to actually put you in the big square, Julian.
Whoa, I'm in the big square.
Coach and I are gonna sit on the bleachers. We're gonna watch. And what are you gonna do? What's your first? Tell us a little. You know what I love? What musicians do. I love when they say, "This is the song, but this is the story behind the song. This is why I wrote this song." Give us a little background. Maybe it'll include the Pine Barrens. Maybe it won't. But I want to hear about it. All right. So me and Coach, we're gonna mute our mic. We'll let you tell your story, and then you can take it away.
You do it now? Oh yeah, I'll talk now. I said I was muted. So yeah, basically I'm going retro here. I'm integrating the retrograde energy and the kind of throwback spirit of tonight's call, which is kind of tonight's show, because the last time I was on was with James and he hit me up last minute and then I hit him up this last minute. So it's cool how that all happened. But I'm playing a first song tonight that's actually from my first album. And we got JXP. Well, my first album was titled The JHP. That's me. That's the Julian Hartwell Project. So JHP, JXP, we got a thing. It's called It's the New. And I thought it'd be appropriate too, because it was just a new moon, right? And solar eclipse as well. So that's big. I'm sure maybe we can dive into that in the show. But it's just kind of a funky, feel-good Friday, funky Friday little thing to get things started. The album version has like bunch of horns and stuff. It's really big. I'm just gonna do the solo version tonight, obviously. But yeah, it's kind of inspired, it's called It's the New. So it's inspired by like the new feeling, when you have a new, generally, let's face it, you get the butterflies and you're thinking about your crush, right? Or, a new interest, or even a new date that you take to the Pine Barrens. I wasn't thinking of Pine Barrens, but now it can all come back, full circle. But even like, like moving to a new place, visiting a new place, a new car while it's fresh. And I don't know, this is just the kind of the feeling of like what inspired me, this kind of feel good, new feeling, the possibilities being ripe for what's presenting itself, and staying kind of like fresh and open to that feeling. So I'm going to get my headphones on and mute myself because I talk too much and get into this. It's the New. Hope y'all enjoy. All right.
Yeah. Great job.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Right.
Thank you so much. Look at you actually calmed a lady out here with anxiety. Can you believe you're like a medication here in the lounge tonight? I know. I was actually starting to get into a flow there where I kind of went somewhere else and forgot that we had to do a show. It was kind of nice. That was awesome. You kind of put me into kind of hypnotized there after a while there, Julian. We can't hear you, but can't hear you. Yeah. Coach, what do you think of it? What did you think of
Yeah, I
the
felt
song?
the same way. I wanted more. It felt like I was in a hypnotic state. And when you said that it's playful, right? It's kind of what we need at this time during this retrograde time, some playful energy to bring something new out from us. And I appreciate that. And I think that Jules, that's kind of a good validation into some of the new things that you're doing, because Julian is doing some meditation tracks, right?
Really?
Hey, yes, I am.
So
surprise. You didn't tell me this.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting for it to come out, spontaneously
Woo!
in the moment. And James dug it up. Wow, get some good feedback. Awesome. Yeah, it's great to get, for all these people to say these things, just to like get that energy on the other side. I hadn't played that song in a long time, so I was like, it's kind of fun for me. I was like, I was gonna do another one, but I was like, I'm feeling this playful kind of like mellow, just hypnotic energy. Like we just need to kind of chill out. It's Friday, you know what I mean? Let's let all the craziness subside and just get into the groove. That's the power of music, right? Music is medicine.
That's right. I mean, you really calmed a lot of people just now. Wow. It's amazing.
Awesome. That's what I aspire to do. That's definitely one of my intentions, is to actually just like heal people, or even, just put people at ease, just kind of chill them out, get them out of their heads, get them more in their bodies, all those good things.
Yes. Somatic work. Are you doing some somatics there, huh?
A little bit.
Yes. Wow. So
I just want to say that Julian has been making me like personal soundtracks.
Really?
Like personal soundtracks. Yeah. I asked him. Yeah. So
what?
Like a personal soundtrack, because the idea behind this is that we listen to music, right? We listen to consistent music that are not meant for us, music that are made by the artists themselves, based from their own personal experiences, based on their different intentions. So Julian and I was kind of telling him about it, is that what if you can create music for someone personally, based from that person's own history of history of own personal experiences. And Julian's just kind of tuning into that person, and it's magic. And this is one of the tracks that he made for me, and it's titled Snow Kisses. Okay, so I just want you to hear it.
Nice. There it is.
Wow.
Yeah, that rocks. Very 80s.
Right?
Yep. I feel like you're at the dance floor. Wait for it. Wait for it.
It's amazing.
Oh, that's your theme song, Coach.
I could see it. It's totally your vibe.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. I just told Julian, Julian, I want a track. I challenge you to come up with a track for me. He knows me, he knows my vibe, and I kind of gave him a little bit of some words and some intentions to play around with. 1 week or 2 weeks after he created that, amazing, made me cry so many times. It feels great, and I think that it's empowering for us, at this stage in the game. I think that it's empowering for us to have like a personal background music, something that is really something that represents us, something that would empower us. And I think that you should ask him, Marisa, that you about this.
I'm a little shy for him to look into me and make some music. I'm a little, but you know what? There are things out there that you can align your frequency with the frequency of music to actually raise or lower your vibration or change that vibration. So, I mean, that exists. I mean, and I think that's people make, perfumes for people and their pheromones. But that's awesome. I mean, I'd love one, Julian. I mean, that would be amazing. Preferably that has like a little Rob Thomas flair to it to kind of give me,
it would only be no, thanks for the plug, James.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's a whole nother kind of side of like my artistry that I'm still kind of figuring out how I'm gonna like show up to the world with, but just to kind of give the backstory. So I like how James said it in his little exaggerating way, which I always appreciate. But I would consider it more like he's given me prompts to produce custom music, and like I don't have any other folks that like literally will hit me up, be like, hey, I want a track that's like this. And it's like it's almost good practice for, what's kind of known as like the music licensing business, where companies, like have a commercial or they have, any product, and they're like, hey, the vibe is, dark and sexy and sleek and urban, and we need a track for it. You know what I mean? So James has been kind of feeding me these ideas every now and again, like, hey, he sent me a couple pictures recently that he wants to kind of get a track for. And it's just awesome to have like a discipline, like actual, it's like the artist materials. Like when I approach a totally new song with nothing in mind, it's a lot harder to get started. But if he gives me like specific things, it's really helped me kind of like develop my producer voice. Yeah, and it like gives me like a structure, gives me materials to mess with. And it's funny, I've played that track for a bunch of people. I played it for my brother, and I pretty much finished it around like February when we were getting a bunch of snow. So I'd be like working here late at night, like working on it, and I was watching the snowfall. So I called the track "Snow Kisses," but that was my imagery of it. That was my kind of feel, like, oh, the snow and it's blistery out, but it's like you're warm inside or something. But I played it for my brother, and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's like I'm on a safari in Africa, and like I see like the animals and like the National Geographic like camera and stuff." So it's just funny, everyone's different interpretation. But I've been producing like a lot of tracks just from home within the last year. Basically because 2020, forced me to like not perform as much and develop this whole other side. So we can talk about a Marisa track, maybe even a lounge soundtrack. Official one.
Well, you know what? I would like to change from my royalty-free jazz music volume 1. I would love to use something different. So if you can make some intro music to the lounging, we will definitely credit you every show with, hey, this is by the JHP.
Yes.
The JHP.
And this show is going to get bigger and bigger, Marisa. Right? It's gonna get bigger and bigger, and you need a personal soundtrack for it.
Yeah, we're getting some interesting people coming on. I mean, we have our lounge cohesive group, and we're not deviating. I mean, we're moving through the pandemic, we're moving out, and we're keeping our core moving forward. So I would say that yes, Julian, we do for the good of the show and for the higher vibration to attract better guests, better everything, not that you guys aren't. I mean, I'm saying we want to take it rocket ship, right? Oh, yeah. So you have to start, you're the starter, you're the Greyhound out of the gate. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take the show, you're going to raise the frequency, and it's from the music that it's going to take off. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Speaking of the solar eclipse, well, let's talk about that for just a minute, because we have 5 planets in retrograde right now. We just had a solar eclipse, that energy. So I talked about this in the office today. We did an office recording. I do the weekly energy. The monthly energy is coming out on the 15th. It comes out on the 15th of every month, but you have to be subscribed to the email list to get that, because they're pre-recorded. They're not live, and they're also privately listed. So if you go to connectionbeyond.com, you'll see on the top header there, if you want to get them every month, you just have to get it before the 15th. I'm going to be doing the monthly forecast, which is going to be interesting from June to July. But with all the retrogrades, and we're Mercury retrograde, usually things are like kind of slowing down to a halt. But since we had this major eclipse, I'm telling you, we are in a new dimension. We are in a new dimension. You are finally breaking through to your true essence that you were here for, back to when you were a kid, how you felt as a kid. If you did all the transformational work during this pandemic, during this past year, all the internal work you were supposed to do, your compass is now calibrated, and you're going to feel like you're existing in the same space, but you're going to feel completely different. Who in the room, in the chat is a hell's yeah, because I know I'm feeling that change. And even though we have so many retrogrades, we want to focus on that transformation right now and continue to move it forward. This is not a halted energy. We could still move things forward in this energy, but don't focus on the externals. If you do, you're going to go awry. You got to focus on bringing that internal balance. This is the next 2 weeks is your window of opportunity into this new dimensional shift, this energy. Are you feeling it, Coach JXP? Are you feeling the new vibe, the new vibration, not just a new chapter? Are you feeling the new book? Are you feeling like we're in different energy?
Yeah, I do. I do feel it. I do feel it. And I hope that all of you guys who are watching right now can ride that wave and optimize yourselves during this wave, this transformational wave. And I think that, or I believe that one of the things that, or one of the ways on how you can optimize this dimensional shift is just to recalibrate your psychology. Okay. And to be able to easily do that, to recalibrate and refine your psychology, just think of 3 words that best describes you, or 3 words that you would want to represent yourself. 3 words that best define yourself, and make those words like your North Star, your guiding force as you move along this transitional phase. And so all of you guys watching right now, I want you to think of those 3 words, okay? Because it's going to be really helpful for you, not just for yourself, but to your family as well. Can you imagine if you tell yourself that tonight I will be more loving, I'll be kinder, I'll be more compassionate. And if you get to live those words congruently for the next 6 months, then I believe that you're going to finish this year stronger than ever. And it's not just for yourself, but for those people, but it's also for those people who you love and take care of, and those people you serve as well. So think of those 3 words and live those words congruently, wholeheartedly as you can, as you go through this year. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. And you know what? Now that we're talking about that new shift, I want to bring it back to Julian, and I want him to give us a tune to kind of help us calibrate our internal energy with the external, and completely center and just completely bring our mental energy back to our core, back to our center, because this is where the transformation is going to take place. I am telling you, people, that you will not be able to carry the backpack of bricks up that mountain. The people that are not in your frequency or not in your vibration are not going to be along with you on this ride. You were able to do it for the last 3 years. It's not going to happen now. You are being called to your soul family, your soul purpose, and you are going to be aligning with whoever is on your frequency. So Julian, can you help us to integrate that tonight? Can you help us to center? Can you help us to calibrate our compass to our higher vibration and frequency? What do you think?
Absolutely. I think I'm up for the task.
All right. Well, let's.
James said he mentioned something about a wave, riding this wave. And I think we all feel the last 14 months have been many waves, some big, some small, but we've all come out on different side of things that's transformed, and kind of ready to take on this whole new. It's like we went through a portal or something, right? And like we're on another side. So here we are. Now we're here. We're kind of like, I think we're all recalibrating. We're recalibrating what it's like to like be social, what it's like to go out again, to what we value. We value totally new things. Or we've refined our pre-existing values. We got more conscious about them. So all these things. So it's cool. It does totally tie in. I love the show. It's just flowing. I know it was like crazy early. We were sound checking. We're flowing. So to the theme of riding the wave, I actually finished a new composition in the last 3 months or so. It was kind of on the back burner. It was like a Mercury retrograde thing, and then it finally came back around. And I was like, yeah, this is speaking to me again. Like that'll happen with pieces. I'll like work on them for a while, and then I'll just shelve them, and then they'll come back. So this was like one of the first on my list. I have a list on my one side of the wall. It's like songs I must finish. It's not I will finish or I want to finish. It's I must finish. So this is one of those. I've played it only a few times, kind of all the way through, I guess, live. So this will be my live stream debut, and it's called Like a Wave. And it's
like a wave. There you go.
Like a wave.
There it is.
There it is. So we're right there. So it's we're gonna get some watery energy. Ride the wave with me, and this is called Like a Wave.
All right, we will mute ourselves and.
Can I say one thing though? Can I say one thing before?
Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to say to all the viewers and to you, Marisa, and me as well. I hope that we can take this time to just breathe.
Yes.
While Julian is playing this special track, just remind ourselves to breathe deeply. Breathe in through your nose slowly and breathe out. Breathe the oxygen out from your pouted lips like this. Slowly. Imagine like you're blowing a candle fire without actually putting the fire out. So breathe deeply and exhale slowly while Julian is playing this track.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Let's go. Like a wave.
awesome. That was like, I would say, out of everything that I've heard you play before, that's like my favorite so far. Awesome. I feel like it was taking us through the energy of the solar eclipse, like in a boat, and bringing us to the other side, into the new era. Yeah, nice. That was excellent. Oh, everybody loves it. Let's show you some of our lovely appreciation. So calming. I know. I love this. What does Paula say? Progressive tune for me kind of reflects how I feel while designing office spaces in ACE and CAD when I get in the zone. Nice. Puts me in a good mood. My 2-year-old daughter started bobbing her head and half closing her eyes and said this music makes her feel tired and happy. Oh my God, that's so awesome. Moving forward, no looking back, loving more. Wow, Julian, this must make you feel really good. Everybody is so appreciative of what you're doing. I love this one. For me, is like very powerful. Love it. Nice.
Awesome. Thank you. It's always, reassuring. It's just like that extra little push that I need, sometimes. I'll remember this moment when I'm like not wanting to write a song or something, or procrastinating. Like, well, you know what, man, my work does have value. It affects people, touches people. And that just was like such a fruit of 2020, that one in particular, because I was feeling those waves and like, how am I going to process this, And glad my music can do that for folks.
Yeah, and what's interesting is I kind of feel like I'm in my body a little bit more. I feel like I'm centered. Nice. Like and the energy with the three of us feels like it's like a little centered and balanced. Yeah. We feel like a square. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of got rooted in.
Yeah, we're getting rooted in. Nice. So I didn't expect that, not knowing what we're going to do tonight, not having any topic, has taken us past the hour already. So we've made it. We have made it. And Julian, it did work out.
Stormy waters.
It wasn't even stormy. We're just like, we'll figure it out. All right, whatever. I have no idea what we're going to do. I'm used to that. Used to going on stage, have no idea what's going to happen. And, it always works out. That's how you could, that's right now the energy like it is. If you guys could kind of take that attitude and just go with the flow and not let yourself get upset, because where the universe is going to take you is wherever you're calibrated, and wherever your compass is calibrated is what's going to appear right now. So allow the emotions, immerse yourself in water, immerse yourself in music, immerse yourself in culture, in sensuality, and just letting yourself be in the moment, whatever comes up for you, even if it's uncomfortable. Use the music as a healing modality to kind of help you move through those stuck emotions, those sticking points, and I just love that one. That like put me in this other state of like, not tired, it's just very, very balanced. It was a balancing frequency move that you just pulled here.
So little music magic. That's what music will do, And sometimes
I love that.
Not even conscious. Yeah, just like it's the beauty of it.
Well, I don't know if you were prepared to do 3 or 2 songs tonight. I'm not sure what you were thinking of doing.
I could always do 3. I can totally finish this out with something, but it's your call.
All right. Well, we're coming to the end of the show. It seems like Lisa said it helped her tremendously. Thank you. Awesome. So Maria is thanking us, always an entertaining and enlightening Friday night. Thank you, and have a great weekend. I just can't. People are pleading with you. Please, one more. So it's like, let's look at this. We had the new energy, which was that high frequency, like newness energy. Then we balanced it out, brought into the heart center. Now let's maybe root it down even more so we could all feel secure and kind of like rooted in the earth as we kind of move forward through this huge, huge wave of transformation. Let's take it down the chakras. What do you think, Julian? Can you do that?
I can dig it. Yeah. What I mean,
go low.
Go low. Well,
Go for the
like
journey,
like in the deep. Go into the deep.
We can go deep. I have just the tune, and James is going to tell you about this tune while I prepare it with my magical fingers. No, you don't have to, but it's funny because he literally knows what I was going to play, what I had already prepared. It's perfect for the nightcap. So
yes, this will help us go deep into our psyches and where those stuck energies are usually the root chakra, usually our grounding force, usually in that sacral center. So this, we're hoping that Julian is going to just help us to stir that up a little bit, help us to stir that up and ground while we're stirring that up, so it can help you guys release some of those difficult emotions and energies. And I had no idea that we were going to be magically using Julian's music to balance our energies tonight. But hey, Coach, you are just It might have even been more interesting than what we were expecting. So, Julian, tell us about how we're going to help this to unearth those tough energies, to let them flow out. And while the music is playing, I want you guys to think about those root chakras, those sacral energies, your root, your sacral center. Imagine them spinning clockwise and just moving out that gray matter, the dark matter. And if you're finding stuff come up for you, use the music to kind of let it flow, let it release. So this is going to be right now, as we move through this eclipse energy, we're going to release now. So we brought it from the top. We brought it down. We're centered now, grounded. Now it's time to help. Now we're going to be able to release. So, Julian, what are you thinking? You ready?
I'm into it. Still a little sound alchemy here. So
all
this
right,
one's called
go.
The Journey. This is called The Journey.
What is it?
And it's called The Journey. The Journey. Yeah, it's a
Perfect.
single I actually put out in 2020. I put it out on Leap Day 2020. So that only happens every 4 years. I thought it was kind of cool to put it out on that date. And it's totally within this dimension. It starts kind of very underground with the root and kind of the darker unconscious. And then there's a slow progression from that feeling to like the light at the end of the tunnel, the whole progression of the journey. It's actually a 2-part piece. It's not super long, but it's long enough. So if you guys don't mind, let's just go on that journey together. And it's pretty much explains itself. It's about the journey, whatever journey you're on, the many moods, the ups and downs of it all. And let's do it.
All right, take us out.
All right, we'll do.
I don't want to like do it too loud, but that was awesome. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Somebody said it felt like shooting stars, and I definitely could relate to that. I loved it. It felt like these like little stars just coming down from the sky.
Nice.
Ani M says, fabulous show. Exactly what I needed tonight. So I'm happy we were able to rally up and improvise tonight and make it happen. So Julian, let's tell everybody where they could connect with you on Instagram, Jules Hartwell, and on Facebook, Julian Hartwell Music. And we'll give you a little break here. We'll bring Coach on. Let's talk about how to connect with Coach. If you want to connect with him, jxpcoaching.us. Connect with Coach.
jxpcoaching.us. I just want to put this out there in the universe. I'm going to have an ebook coming out. It's called Naked and Ticklish.
Whoa. Okay.
7 important ways on how to unembarrass yourself.
Okay.
I love it.
Woo.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you for a very emotional, grounding, fabulous night. It was amazing. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to put you guys where you were before, or else I can't think. So now you guys are in the same spots you were in the beginning. Awesome. Well, we are way past the hour. Thanks, guys, for sticking with us past the hour. And we will see you next week. And we don't know what's going to bring, but move through this solar eclipse energy. Watch this again if you want to listen to the music, the frequency. And thank you, Julian. Thank you, Coach, for making this show what it was tonight. Really, really appreciate it. And we love what you do. So thank you. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you guys again. Bye.
Bye, everyone.